Hello, you're watching Proact. I'm joined by VivoPower Chief Investment Officer, Alex Cuppage. Alex, very good to speak with you. Sovereign AI is a phrase that gets thrown around a lot now. What does that actually mean in practice, and why should the average person care?
Well, good morning, Stephen. Thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me. I think this is an incredibly interesting topic right now. Um, as you said, it gets thrown around a lot, but what does that really mean? Well, in our eyes, AI is going to infiltrate every single part of the human life, from um, government verticals, industry verticals, education, healthcare, defense, etc. And it's going to redraw the political lines or the geopolitical lines. And I think you're going to see some nations thrive where they have a very clear, long, well drawn out mandate of how they want to adopt AI, both with third parties and with a sovereign, and other countries which are a bit slower to adapt, and it could actually really put them on the back foot. So it is really about nations defining how they are going to adopt AI, both within industry and within their own government verticals.
Where does VivoPower fit into the sovereign AI picture, Alex? Are you building the infrastructure, the intelligence, or something else entirely?
So for us, sovereign AI is really kind of central to our thesis. We are at VivoPower. What we do is we permit and we permit the lands. We also energize that land. We design and build that data center, and then we look to lease that data center up and retain those cash flows over the long period of time. How we approach the sovereign is we want to go and work with them. We want to be the most neutral partner for the next 100 years with those sovereigns, because this is critical infrastructure. It's using up a sovereign's main resources of power and water, and it's going to be critical to their kind of national prosperity and defense going forward. So we want to approach the sovereign and say, okay, hey, let us help you design that vision. Let us help you deliver this infrastructure. And within your vision, let's work together in terms of, do you want this to be a sovereign operator? Do you want this to be a US, Middle Eastern, Asian hyperscaler that operates it? We will work with that sovereign to ensure that we deliver the best possible outcome for them.
Alex, we've seen nations pour billions into semiconductors and data centers in recent years. Is this a genuine strategic imperative, or is there an element of FOMO driving the rush?
It's definitely not FOMO, Stephen. This is really, really critical infrastructure. I think that AI could be a real leveler up for certain countries, and it could also be the deterioration of other countries that don't get this right. This is infrastructure that is going to power our economy and power our national infrastructure for the next 100 years. So it's certainly not FOMO, and it's something that is going to evolve incredibly quickly over the next kind of 1 to 2 years.
For smaller or emerging nations with limited capital, is sovereign AI a realistic ambition, or is it effectively a luxury reserved for wealthier countries?
No, quite the opposite, Stephen. I think it comes down to clarity of vision and also part of what resources do you have. So, as an example, we are looking at some nation states. We're working with some nation states within Southeast Asia who would have a lower GDP than some of the Western countries in Europe, as an example. However, they have an abundance of clean hydropower, which is not really being utilized. And the way that we're approaching that is to say, okay, well, you have this amazing natural resource of hydro energy plus an abundance of water. Let us sit down and map out what the next 50 years looks like. What do you need to deliver? And at Vivo, we're working hand in hand with the national governments, the local municipalities, the utility companies to say, okay, well, let us figure out how we can build this, under what time frame we can build this, and then who do we want to attract, and what else can we deliver to give back to the local community. So as an example, at VivoPower, we're a certified B Corp. We don't just want to deliver the AI infrastructure, but what else can we deliver? Can we help the country attract the top biogenetic AI companies, the top robotic companies, high-end compute companies? Is there something that we can give back to the local community in terms of retraining and education or housing, etc.? And I think that is that approach that we are taking is a true partnership. And I think the private sector can really work together with developing nations that have these natural resources in order to be the great leveler up.
Many governments already run huge amounts of sensitive data through US hyperscalers like AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. At what point does that become a genuine national security problem?
I think this is evolving very, very quickly. It's not a problem that's going to be solved quickly either, but it's something that should be on every radar. So when we talk to governments, particularly in Europe, as an example, this is frontline and center of what they're thinking. They don't want defense data, financial services data, health, education, etc., government agency data. They want to keep that secure. And I think within the industry, we all have to work together to try and deliver this, because sovereignty of data, is not just a buzzword. That is something that I think every country is front and center focused on right now.
If a country came to you tomorrow and said, we're fully committed to building our own AI infrastructure, what's the single biggest obstacle standing between them and that goal?
Capital, talent, and finding the right partners.
Well, simple answer, Alex. Thank you very much for your insights today.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Lovely to speak with you.
And with you, Alex Cuppage, Chief Investment Officer at VivoPower.